Hello, TJ. It's Joe Cook here. I'm with the lovely Doug Shaw. Doug, tell us a little bit about what it is that you do.
Hi, Joe, and hi, everyone else. I think I'll respond to that question in terms of what I'm currently doing, if that's okay. So I have a couple of interesting projects coming up on the horizon, one of which is more purely artistic, if you like. So I have a show that I'm taking part in coming up in Germany in March, and I'm currently finishing off the artworks for that event. They're a series of works that I've been experimenting with for a while that are all about things like sort of self-care and how we feel about ourselves and how we kind of interact with each other and the world around us. So that's a specifically artistic project that's coming up. And I'm using the Royal Academy Summer Exhibition as a kind of stepping stone towards that. So those are two artistic things that are happening in the next 2 or 3 months. And then I'm working with the people at Change Board to support their up and coming future talent event from a kind of artistic observational perspective. So I'm working with an associate doing some listening and visual minuting and artistic interpretation. So those are two projects that I've got on the go. And wrapped around that, I suppose, is my more broader interest about how we use the arts to do things differently in an organisational context.
And that's exactly why we've asked you to be on our webinar on the 5th of February, because we're asking how can you use storytelling, humour, music, and art in learning? And like a lot of people, I've been on learning interventions, classroom sessions, whatever they are, and it's cringy. How can we use it properly and not just pay lip service to something like this?
That's a very good question. I think there's something very interesting about visual art and the arts in general. I have an interest in lots of different art forms. I have a bias towards visual art. I am predominantly a visual artist. The more eagle-eyed of you may have noticed a guitar sitting behind me. I mean, I do play and sing a little bit as well. So I indulge in other forms of creativity, but I'm fascinated by visual art as a way of conveying meaning, as a way of conveying expression, and all sorts of other things besides. One of the things I find really fascinating about it is that I genuinely believe we're all artists, and I sometimes do some of my work under that banner. And particularly when we're children, we are encouraged in our artistic expression. So many people who have children will have fridges adorned with bits and pieces of art. Um, and I'm no different in that respect. In fact, I can see there are things stuck to the wall around me here that my daughter's made over the years, and I have too. But creative expression when we're children is encouraged and welcomed. And yet we have a tendency as we get older to start to judge ourselves very harshly and accept judgment from others and believe that we can't do this stuff, whatever it is. And so I think for me, one of the interesting things about using art, it's a way of kind of tapping back to our childhood and re-releasing that kind of enthusiasm. But it's also a very wholehearted and curious thing to use as a way of an alternate way of making meaning, of creating new and different ideas. It's not the way, it's a way, but used in a supportive and encouraging environment, and people tell me I'm reasonably good at helping to create that, then I think it's a really powerful tool for unlocking a sense of cooperation, communication, and community among groups of people.
Absolutely. I know in the past that I've used activities where drawings involved or explaining artwork or pictures. And whilst I absolutely would never put myself on the level of knowledge and experience that you have, just doing a little bit of something and using it as a communication activity, for instance, has been really, really powerful. So I'm looking forward to discussing this with you a little bit more. This is on Thursday, the 5th of February, 4 p.m. at UK time. And Doug, where can we find you on the web and social media?
The easiest place to find me, my website is at consultingartist.com, and you'll also find me on Facebook at Consulting Artist, and on Twitter I'm at Doug Shaw one, the number one. there is a Doug Shaw out there, and he used to have on his bio, "I'm not that other Doug Shaw bloke," but I think he's taken it off now. But anyway, that's there's some places to find me, but I'm not hard to find. I'm usually out there doodling and making a nuisance of myself in some way, shape, or form.
Well, we look forward to you making a nuisance with yourself on our webinar very soon.
Me too. Thanks for the invitation.
Thank you.